It is impossible for one Jewish person to complete all of the mitzvot. There are mitzvot for specifically for a king. There are mitzvot specifically for a Kohen, for a Levi, for Israel, for someone that is living in the land of Israel, that is living in the land of Israel with a Beit HaMikdash. I mean, all of these things, if you come down to it, can we really do all the mitzvot? And the answer is no. I mean, it's just not possible. And why are we saying Lanu, that Moshe commanded the Torah to us as an inheritance from Yaakov? So what are we talking about? So the Ketav Sofer quotes a very famous drasha where he says that Torah is the gematria of 611, and then if you add the two Aseret HaDibrot that we heard directly from Hashem at Har Sinai, we have 613. This is the 613 mitzvot that Moshe is commanding to us, and that this source of the what did Moshe command, the answer is the mitzvot, the 613 mitzvot. And the Rambam has a field day with this question because he says, like, where do we get this number from? 613? Okay, like, are we actually going to, like, base a drasha? We're going to base this whole, like, premise of 613 mitzvot on a gematria drasha? He grapples with this and he discusses it and he does a lot of research. It's actually the introduction. He discusses this in his introduction to his Sefer Mitzvot, I believe. And he talks about how he decided to count the mitzvot and how he categorizes them, whether they're derabanan or deoraita, how he's going to count them, if there's mitzvot that have multiple components. So that's the Rambam. But ultimately, at the end of the day, he does conclude that, okay, yeah, 613, yeah, we understand that from this pasuk, whether or not we like it or not. Okay, so now we understand what that means by Torah. What did Moshe actually give us? But like, okay, so Moshe gave us the Torah, but like, I can't do all 613 mitzvot, and chances are you can't do it either. I mean, if you can, please let me know. So it's a very interesting question. Why are we talking about 613 mitzvot? Why are we talking about mitzvot that Moshe commanded to Lanu, to us? So the Ramban has a very interesting answer. He talks about how it's talking about the Kalat Yaakov. It doesn't use the word like Bnei Israel. It doesn't use Beit Yaakov. It doesn't use Adat Yisrael. There are many different ways that we refer to Bnei Israel. It specifically uses the word Kalat Yaakov, Kihila Yaakov, the Kihila congregation, however you would translate that. So the Ramban is saying that we're not just talking about the men, we're not just talking about the men and the women, we're talking about everyone. That's how it works. In a Yerusha, when it comes to an inheritance, it is all of the people. And why is it all of the people? Well, Rashi answers that question. In Parashat Yitro, the words Vayichan Sham Neged Har, when Bnei Israel are settling at Har Sinai, waiting to get the Torah, and the word is in singular, and Rashi says Ki every single person, they were like the same person, they were like one person. That's why they were in singular. And the Ramban says that Kalat Yaakov is referring to every single person when they were all together, and that's what the Ketav Sofer is talking about when he says, despite the fact that one person is not able to do every single mitzvah, when we are a Kilat Yaakov, when we are one, Ki ish echad belev echad, each person has the ability to do their mitzvot that they were commanded, and together we are being commanded this 613 mitzvot, and we can inherit it. I want to add a little bit of a story to kind of like highlight that point. So my grandfather 2 years ago gave my younger brother a Chanukiah menorah that he had from his father. My grandfather had his own menorah. My dad also had his own menorah. And now my grandfather has been holding on to this menorah for 4 generations, and now he's able to give my brother, who has the same name as my grandfather's father, this Chanukiah. But like, I mean, technically, my grandfather didn't need to hold on to it. Why would he hold on to it if it's something he didn't need it? My father didn't need it. But all of a sudden, my brother has this opportunity. This is 4 generations later. My brother is able to use that Chanukiah. Many times, when it comes to an inheritance, not everything is able to be used to the best of its ability to be enjoyed to its fullest extent. What happens is you hold on to that. You say, okay, this is something that's important to me. If I'm going to keep it on the shelf for a few years, if I'm going to keep it for a few decades, it's something, this is important. This is something I cherish. This is something that is meaningful to me, has a lot of value, and it has value to me. Even if I might not be able to appreciate, even if I might not able to use it to its full extent, I still know that it's there. And when the time comes, the person who will be able to benefit greatly from it will have that opportunity because it's been holding on to until that point. I think that we can understand a very important lesson here. When it comes to the Torah, yeah, we were all commanded it, but there are certain people who are exempt, who just, if they do not have to do all the mitzvot. So you're commanded, but like, I can't do it, so I'm just not going to. But when it comes to a Yerusha from the Kilat Yaakov, when it comes to the inheritance, every single person has that responsibility of carrying out the Torah, the 613 mitzvot, and all of what the Torah includes to the next generation. Because although we might not be able to use all of it, or despite not having the ability to complete all of the mitzvot, God willing, very, very, very soon, we will have an opportunity where we'll be living in Israel, where we will have a Beit HaMikdash, where we will be able to be unified as an entire nation, keeping all of the mitzvot together. Thank you.